Right, going to do a real quick review of Sniper Elite VR. I need to do this quite quick before people do spend money on it, just as a bit of a warning. As with these new games, there's a lot of hype from the guys that get it early, you know, from the popular YouTubers, and they tend to build these games up. If you see it's like the best game ever, you've got to get this shooter and things like that. I've seen a lot of titles like that. Well, honestly, I've just played about just under an hour of it now, just to get the feel for it, and I need to raise these points. Okay, just to be honest, I have refunded it, and I'll explain why. Okay, right. Good points. It's a lot of fun shooting people with the zoom feature. Follows the bullet time, you know, so you can get the kill shots. That's really cool. And I think, to be honest, if they polish this game and up and sort of change a few little things, I think it'll be really good. But I've got to list these bad points now because it's really got to me. Right, first of all, it feels very much like a wave shooter. The enemies respawn pretty quick into set locations, so it looks like you make your way to each location and then go through the waves. I don't really like wave shooters anyway, but it feels a little bit like that. It doesn't really feel that dynamic. That's only for a very limited amount of time, gameplay though, so I'm not really going to focus too much on the gameplay, more on the dynamics of how the controls work. The rifles feel out of alignment with the controllers, so the scopes are really high, they're quite far forward, and they don't actually feel like you're holding a rifle. It feels like you're virtually holding something, if that makes sense, not like in Onward or Pavlov where the rifle really does match up really well with the controls. Probably the worst feature is the two-handed weapons stick in the last known location, so when you release it, the rifle sticks at a janky angle and then when you have to try and re-grip the front of the rifle, you know, after reloading or something like that, you've then got to grab it and reposition it to a natural position to shoot again. I suppose without a stock, this would probably be a little bit easier to use without realising it, but if you see it with the stock, you can see how janky it looks, and it's really uncomfortable to use. It's constantly realign the rifle. Why would you do that when Onward and Pavlov had just used perfect techniques for years? I mean, didn't they learn anything off these previous sort of kings of VR? You've got virtual reality controllers. Why would you click a trigger to throw a grenade? It's just a real big mistake. The two-handed pistol grip, where is it? You've just got a single grip, and it feels like a laser tag. There's no sort of recoil. It just feels really cheap, actually. It doesn't feel anything like shooting a pistol. It almost feels like one of these tech demos. Yeah, I'm just really disappointed with the way it handles. I suppose it looks good, and for people that maybe haven't shot very often in VR or haven't shot in real life, it's probably a great fun experience for maybe kids to play or something, I don't know. As far as it being realistic, it's a big letdown, I think. To be fair to the company though, it's probably their first venture or something like this. I wish they'd have spent longer on the actual handling of the rifles and making them authentic, because this is basically just a shooting game. It's not really trying to do anything else with multiplayer. For a game that's focused on sniping, why would you go away from the formula that's worked so well with other games? Why would you try and reinvent it or just do your own thing? It's like they didn't have any idea how it worked, and they've just tried to design something for themselves. It just feels like people haven't been playing VR shooters for years. They've just kind of come up with this in a little office somewhere. I don't understand it. Why would you do that when you're going to release a game like this? You'd at least want to get it feeling right. Did they alpha test it? Did they beta test it? Did they release it to people that actually do shoot competitively? A lot of people do use gunstocks. This is going to be a big problem for them. Why didn't they test it? Why don't they have an option at least for an auto grab? Something that would snap back to the original position. I'm sure this is things they can tweak down the line, but for right now, just be very wary. If you're quite limited on your budget, you probably want to avoid this for now until they tweak these things. Sorry, it's quite a negative review. I've been really looking forward to this game for a long time. I got sucked into the hype as well, so my expectations were quite high and I feel quite disappointed with it. So just wanted to let you know. Thanks for watching if anyone did, and see you later.